just want to go to the festival.
You should go. I think you'd have fun. Why not? It's free.
I got work to do.
So do I, but I'm still going.
All right, turn that down just a little, like tip it towards your mouth, just from the mic. There you go. That's it. That should be.
You're good?
Yeah.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah. Okay. You sore today?
Yeah, very.
Are you really?
I could barely walk after everything.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Like, I was limping around the bars last night.
Limping around the bars. Okay.
Well, my leg still isn't better.
All right.
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. If you ever want to feel old, watch your kid do something that you couldn't possibly ever do, even imagine doing. Yesterday, I went out and I watched my 23-year-old son, Jordan, in I was going to say a weightlifting competition, but it's what is it? Powerlifting competition? Powerlifting competition. See, I don't even know. And I asked him to come in here today. We're taping this on kind of early on a Sunday morning, early for a Sunday morning. I actually woke him up. He told me what time he wanted to be here. We got him some coffee and some breakfast sandwich to try to get him fueled up. And then I hear he comes in and he says, "Yeah, I went out to the bar last night and I wore my medal because you won your age group for the powerlifting competition," which I thought was super impressive and something that you got to feel pretty good about.
I do feel really good about it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like putting on a costume and you go out, you're like, brag. I mean, is that called low key brag? What do they call that? Quiet brag,
humble brag. No.
Humble brag.
I don't think it's a humble brag.
I think it's just an out and out brag.
Yeah, I think it's pretty out in people's faces. But I mean, people wear rapper chains out to the bar all the time. I can't wear a medal that I earned.
I guess. I don't know. If you did, you did. It was interesting, right? Because I had never gone to one of those. Well run, I thought. Really moved people through, did this stuff. What do you have, like 1 minute once you get on the platform?
Yeah, you have so once they call your name, you just have 60 seconds to get yourself set and complete the lift. And
you were the slowest, by the way.
I figured.
Because you would walk out and you would look at the bar and you'd kind of roll your shoulders or whatever. And then the guys are like, "All right, Jordan, come on. Clock's ticking." And I think you were at 45 seconds then left. And I'm like, I knew you would get it in.
Yeah, well, it's very similar to what I would do with track in terms of the timing of everything. Like when I was a thrower in college, you had the exact same amount of time to complete your throw as you would a lift in a powerlifting meet. So I know, everyone says like, "Oh, just go get it done right away." I'm like, no, I'm going to make sure when I'm walking up there, I want to make sure that I'm like confident and a little bit relaxed so that I can just get under the bar or get on the bench and just get it done. And if that takes that takes a couple seconds, then it takes a couple seconds.
All right. So let's back up just a little bit here and kind of walk through. You were a thrower in high school.
Yeah.
At McQuaid. Muscles, you definitely had them, but you were a skinny guy.
Yeah. It's funny. I think a lot of where I started with both powerlifting and track was around the exact same time. It was one of my best friends. His name is Joseph Brunner, and he was the whole reason I started doing track in the first place, and at least started throwing.
Where did you know Joseph? I don't think I ever even knew this.
You don't remember the ginger kid at all the?
Oh yeah. That was
who went to Fisher. Yeah,
that's Joseph.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's one of.
I think I thought his name was Joseph.
Well, it is, but he
but
emphasizes that pronunciation.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why, but he got me into throwing because he and I were teammates before I started doing that. When I wasn't able to run anymore because of the constant injuries to my foot and just the frustration. And he was also a big, he was really into powerlifting at that age, which was why he was so good at track.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got me on the team and started getting me in the groove of throwing, it kind of just was 1-1.
Yeah.
And it became like the lifting styles are very similar. You're doing a lot of the same movements anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense if you're going to keep training that way, you might as well compete that way too.
Because then I remember was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago.
I did one.
Yeah, you were in college still.
I was.
Yeah.
It was I was going into my senior year of college. It was end of the summer, right around the same time. Same place too. And I had never done one before.
Right.
But I wanted to enter one, and I came in third place at that time. I didn't have any of the equipment I needed. I didn't have a coach. I barely knew the commands, and I still went out there and I did what I did.
Yeah, you came in third, I think.
I
know. By the way, you didn't even have a singlet.
Nope.
And so you have to wear these singlets, which, by the way, can you get a bigger one? Like slightly bigger?
Yeah, I thought,
Jesus, that thing, like, practically, it's like see-through. You might as well just walk out there naked and do the thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want it like sagging down my legs as I'm trying to squat.
Well,
so.
that's true too. I don't know. But so, okay. So you and that one, you came in third. Now you're a little more aware. This is only the second competition you've done?
Yeah. I mean, I had that year off where I was where I was living in St. Louis and doing track over there up until the injury. And then I decided when I came back and had my pseudo medical retirement from track, I was like, I want to get back into this. And I went online and I saw that Chris Harris was hosting it again at the same venue, same entry fee, same everything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay the fee. I'm gonna do it.
So, and these are sanctioned events.
They are,
right?
Yeah. So there's two different federations out there, at least that I know of, for powerlifting. There's the USAPL, which is the United States. I think it's like the United States of America Powerlifting League.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the USPA, which is the United States Powerlifting Association. They have slightly different rules and slightly different things that you're allowed to do in terms of like equipment. I don't really know all the nitty gritty of it, but I know that I got a membership for both, so that I could.
You have a membership for both?
I did, yeah. So I could experiment and see. I want to try both.
Yeah. Do you know when the next one is?
I can go online and see when there are other ones. I know Joseph and I are planning on doing one in Utica in December.
Okay.
Which is in the other federation, the USPA.
Okay.
And that would be my first time competing with those rules.
Yeah. In Utica.
Yeah.
Look at this, the armpit in New York.
I know.
When you're walking up to the platform and you're going for your heaviest lift, this is going to be the heaviest. And I watched guys try to hit a weight. One guy just walked up. I think he looked at the bar and knew he couldn't do it and walked away. Just walked away. And I was like, I get it, man. I totally get it. I couldn't do this. But what is going through your head, and how do you manage the pressure in that exact moment? Because that's like a pressure filled thing. And there's an audience, so to speak, and judges who they're watching your form, and right, and you got to get at least 2 white lights to move on out of the 3 judges.
So there's the judges are there just to make sure that you're doing everything correctly in order for your lift to count. And then there's a guy giving commands, which By the way, they need to start giving that guy a microphone or something.
Yeah, because it's hard to hear.
Yeah, I mean, you got speakers blasting. You've got the
they got music pumping. They had a DJ there.
Yeah. And you have the MC of the event just trying to hype up the crowd.
Yeah,
which, credit to him, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of like golf in a way. Like once you're actually doing it, you kind of need to be quiet, so you can actually hear everything.
Yeah,
but it's never like that.
No.
So,
they do make it a bit of a carnival, don't they?
They do. Yeah. But I mean, you gotta make it entertaining. People pay to get in there. So, but it was the white lights thing. It's just to make sure, you're doing everything right. So you have to make sure you're hearing the commands properly. You can't put the bar back on the rack for squats until you hear them say to do it. You can't press the bar off your chest on bench press until you hear them say it. If you do it too early, that's a light gone.
Yeah.
And then if you fail to lift, that's 3 reds, doesn't count.
How many attempts do you get on each?
So
each
you
weight?
have a total of 3 attempts at any weight. It doesn't matter. So
I only saw you do like 2.
Well, so when you first get there and you walk in, you give them your name, your ID, your membership card. You go through all that, and then you go to actually weigh in to make sure that you're within the threshold for whatever weight class you're in. After that, you give whoever took your weight is also going to take your openers. So you actually have to have a number in your head of how much you want to start with, and it has to be in metric, which I hate, but whatever.
Right.
So once you do that, at that point, you decide from there how much heavier you want to go. That's why if you saw me go back up to the table where they had that little chart, that's what I was doing. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next so they could tell the people who are loading the bar,
right?
Hey, he's going to do.
I mean, those guys are like
they're like a NASCAR pit crew.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They got jacks and everything, man. They're jacking that stuff up, and they're quick. Boom, boom, boom. The weights are on, and then in comes the next person. Through all of this stuff, what did you learn, I guess, about yourself? And I would say leading up to the competition, but through this weightlifting journey, maybe something that surprised you the most that you learned about yourself. Was there anything?
Honestly, the one thing I really learned was just that I can do it. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, but it's not as, I don't want to say it's not as hard as everyone makes it out to be, because in my head it isn't. You just have to keep doing it every single day. I mean, it's very similar to any form of training for athletics. Like, look at, you talk to like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen about like what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL. And one of the first things they'll say is you got to show up every day. You got to do everything every day, even if you don't want to.
Right. It's consistency.
Yeah. And that's something you told me about all the time when I was a kid with sports and stuff, that if I wanted to do it, I had to do it every day, even on the days I didn't want to. And, it's the same idea with powerlifting. You got to show up for training the same way with the same attitude every single time, even on your worst day. We see the glory of the win, right? And we see, and even with the guys you're talking about, we don't see what's happening behind the scenes necessarily, what their preparation is, what their private training is, what they're doing on their own time with the team time, all that stuff. And the same thing for you. But what's part of your training or preparation that would maybe shock or even gross people out if they knew? Honestly, I think the most shocking part, this isn't really going to like gross people out, I guess, but I mean, it's just maintaining the mobility on top of maintaining the strength. Like, obviously you have to lift heavy in order to lift heavy, but you also have to make sure that you don't tear something while you're training.
Right.
And that comes down to a lot of rehab, a lot of like almost yoga type stretching. I'm still doing a lot of the same rehab exercises I'm doing from my shoulder surgery, even now on both sides. And I'm applying a lot of the active recovery stuff I learned about in the NCAA with my training for powerlifting, just to make sure I don't get hurt again. I mean, it's not fun, and you got to make sure that you stay healthy in order to keep competing.
How did you feel after yesterday?
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to do all that. I wasn't going in there planning to win. I was going in there to see how close can I get to how strong I want to be.
Yeah.
This was kind of like a benchmark for how strong I was pre and post surgery. And right now I would say I'm about where I was, if not stronger.
So what were you yesterday? The first thing up was the squat.
Yep.
And how much were you squatting? Because I don't know.
So I opened with a 190 kilogram squat, which is about 420 pounds, give or take.
Okay.
And my plan with that was to just jump up by tens.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't happen, but it's all right.
Yeah. Well, you got the first squat?
So I didn't get the first one.
They give you a second.
I messed up on that one. That was my fault. The second one I did the same weight because I was like, I know I can get this. I just did it. I just I wasn't patient enough. And then the third one, I went up, I got it, but they didn't count it.
Yeah. I was surprised they didn't count it, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah. And
so that was 430 pounds? The second one?
Something like that. I don't know off the top of my head, but I will say, even if it was a local meet, even if I was to try and contest it, they're not going to overturn it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a national qualifying meet or like someone's going for a state record or something.
What about bench press?
Bench.
Yeah. This was like 308.
Yeah. That was I opened with 286 and jumped to 308. And then I went for 330 and I didn't get it.
Okay.
But that's all right.
330 pounds on bench press. I think I hit 200 once, and I was very proud of myself. That was probably younger than your age. I think I was younger than you at that time.
You could do it again. I mean, you saw a guy out there who he was like.
I didn't even see him compete though. What was it? I never saw him up on the platform.
I saw him there. I don't know if he actually competed or not, or if he was just there in solidarity. But there was an older man there.
Yeah,
and he looked like he was ready to do it.
And then the deadlift was the one that sort of set you over. Did you lift more than anybody in the room?
No.
What was one guy lifting?
I know that the guy who was in the 100 kilo weight class that went immediately after me, I think he pulled heavier than I did. And I know the guy who was in the other age group, but same weight class, pulled heavier than I did.
And what were you pulling?
I ended with 557, around
pounds?
About 560.
Yeah, and those guys were deadlifting more than that.
Yep. Yeah, they're they're bigger, they're heavier, they're probably well into the sixes, maybe
really
higher.
Good God, that's crazy. If your future kids or grandkids asked you about this, you're still wearing that medal around, Grandpa, why are you walking around with the medal still on? Why does this win matter? What story would you tell them about the moment?
Honestly, I would just tell them, don't go into things like this expecting to win, but if you do, enjoy it. I mean, like I said, this was just the thing for me to do to see how much I had really progressed since getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how can I bounce back?
Yeah.
And
that's amazing. I think that there's a great discipline to this. I think it's a wonderful thing, probably a great stress reliever.
100%.
And because powerlifting's about lifting weight, right? I mean, that's what that's about. But what weight outside the gym? Do you think this sport has helped you kind of move forward in life, carry better in your life?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge advocate for people to go work out for more than just the physical health benefits, but also the mental health benefits. You got to think of all the.
True. Yeah.
I mean, people talk about a runner's high all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But do you know how good it feels to squat 400 pounds and not die? It's awesome. Why doesn't everyone do that? But in all seriousness, I think, having something to do consistently that you can get really good at, that it's everyone talks about having like a win in the morning or like a win to start your day. Like, some people say, oh, I make my bed every single day so that I can have a win for that day.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
do you do that? Do you make your bed every day? I doubt it.
No, I don't. But when I'm saying that, what I mean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
When you go to the
something
gym,
you accomplished.
Exactly.
Right? There's a satisfaction to that. That's why a lot of times, I don't know that I was always great at it, but I would say things like, on radio, I didn't know how I did at the end of the day. I could walk out of there going, oh, great show today. It could have been a steaming pile of shit, and I wouldn't know because the ratings didn't come out for 3 months. There was nothing tangible. But if I hung a door, like when we replaced the door in your bedroom, like that kind of thing was a tangible thing, and there was satisfaction to doing that, especially when it was an older house and it had settled and the door was all fucked up and I had to plan. It was great. Like those were satisfying things. And I think that we need to do more satisfying things. There's a lot of talk you'll hear. Oh God, I feel like so many people just talk in circles or platitudes often. Like I saw something about like churches coming together and we're going to tear down walls and it's every fucking platitude, and we're going to tear down these walls and we're going to bring the. But it's not. You're speaking in hypotheticals. There's no tangible plan there to actually do it. And I think the only way to fix everything is to fix the individual first. And you fix the individual by building self-esteem. And you build self-esteem by accomplishing things and feeling good. And it's not bullshit stuff where we're blowing sunshine up your ass and telling you you're great. Now, I hear people always bitch about participation trophies and all that sort of thing. I don't have a problem with a participation trophy as long as we're still giving somebody MVP, most improved, on top of the participation trophy to show you that, hey, thanks for showing up every day. That was great. Here's a participation trophy. This guy did a little extra and really improved, and he worked on his game. You can get there too, and here's this. And that, to me, is something that you can kind of, work toward, and I think is really important. And when I see things like even in the cities and things where we talk about, oh, we got these problems, a little pride, satisfaction in cleaning your yard, painting your fence, that kind of thing. I don't know.
No,
but I'm yelling at the clouds like an old man, so it doesn't matter.
I get it. I will say I do slightly disagree with the participation trophy thing because that's what a team party's for. If you're going to celebrate the end of it, like if you're looking at like,
well, I'm talking about little kids. I'm not talking about like track and stuff like that when you're in college.
I'm talking about that too. Like if you're talking like T-ball or Little League, I don't think it sends the right message to give everybody an award for showing up. I think that's what an end of year celebration is for. Yeah, you should just do like we had barbecue.
Remember the Little League party we had? Everybody's jumping in the pool.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah. But what's his name's dad had everybody jumping as far as they could or something. I forget the guy.
I forgot. But I think with that, well, that's what a celebration with the team is for. You don't need to have everyone get a trophy because then it's like, oh, cool, we all did this, so we all get an award. No, like you all did it. It's the ones who work the hard. It's the ones who do the best who should get like MVP. The ones who win should get the first, second, third places. If you're gonna give somebody an award for showing up, like I think that's something you can do to just celebrate as a team. You guys worked together to show up every day. That's something on the individual that shouldn't be, hey, thanks for showing up. Here's a trophy.
No, I understand kind of what you're saying. I will say I have a different thought on that, and it'll be interesting when you have kids and stuff. And I don't know where things will go, but I don't mind when it's 7-year-olds or 6-year-old soccer and every kid gets a trophy and they can have a little bit of pride in that. If we also say, but you know what? Tyler was amazing this year. Tyler scored the most goals on the team. Tyler was really our most valuable player. Tyler, you also get this. And maybe they're too young there to even get it, but at some point and I agree with you. Like after 12 years old, let's at least there's got to be a cutoff to
I'm
our
thinking like 10.
Yeah, well, most of these
Like
leagues go to 12.
I'm thinking like 4th grade.
But I don't mind that. Like I would say Little League. Like I remember Little League, there was MVP and most improved player and stuff. And I remember and there was no other trophy, right? But it gave you something to strive for. I can even remember, here's one, and this is where I don't know if these things are genetic or not. But when I was in 6th grade, they started handing out the Academic Achievement Award and the Good Citizen Award. Okay. And I remember going home and telling Grandpa Bill, and he said to me, you get the Good Citizen Award for blowing your nose and making the tissue fall in the garbage, that kind of shit. He goes, the Academic Award. So they gave one out, and a girl got it. And this is terrible, but this is how my head would work. I go, how did she get it? She's dumb. Like, come on. So I go, there's no way. And so next week, man, I was determined and I got it. And then I took my foot off the gas because I proved to myself that I could do it. And I didn't need to do it again. Other people were winning the Academic Achievement Award like every week, right? Piling them up. I didn't give a shit. But that to me is a bad way to be when I look back at it. But I could always go, I can do this. I know I can do it. I'm going to prove it. And then once I proved it, it was like, okay, I'm done. What's next? I'm bored. I don't need to do the Academic Achievement Award. I've already done it. Well, I did for 1 week. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the consistency stuff in everything is so important.
And, I think to relate it back to powerlifting and all that, I get exactly where you're coming from with the Academic Achievement Award story. And it's very similar. The difference is like, if you want to apply that to powerlifting, like, yeah, cool. I won in this weight class on this day in this age bracket with these numbers. Well, if I did that, what if I did it again?
Yeah.
But with better numbers.
It's a maturity thing. Yeah. I think at that point you're a little more mature and a little more aware.
Oh, 100%. But it's also like,
but I like that. I love that.
You're chasing another goal because yes, it's the same award. It's a similar thing.
Right.
But you're doing it better than last time.
Yeah. I think one of the big things for anybody, if you were to apply this stuff to life, right? You were this skinny guy in high school who looked up to these people. You are not that skinny guy anymore, but it was through consistent work that got you there. And I will always say to people, you can't get from Rochester to Buffalo without taking the trip, without taking the journey. Now, there's many ways to get from Buffalo. The easiest way is 90, but you can do back roads. You can do different ways. You can veer off here, and right, all kinds of ways. Which way is going to be the easiest? And like I always say, when we think of like grinding and grind it out and blah, 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 and it kind of makes it ugly, right? And I live that way a lot. And I think you don't have to do that. I think you can have a different mentality and still get there and be happy. And I will say the best way in my mind to do that is if I put in my GPS how to get to Buffalo, do I worry about not getting to Buffalo? No, I just think about the next turn I have to make. That's what I think about. And I go, this should be the same thing in life. I want to get here. I trust I'm going to get there. What's my next turn? What's my next turn? And then, you know what I'm saying? With the destination in mind, but knowing that it doesn't have to be this grind thing. I'll lighten it up here a little bit because I always, these conversations.
No, you're fine.
No, these conversations turn it back into the lectures you used to get in the car from McQuaid.
I'm not surprised, but you're fine. I do want to say, I think I didn't really address a point you brought up earlier about
what's that?
What goes through my head. When
yeah. What goes through your head when you're walking up there? Because it's like nothing. There's music, nothing. That's
the thing. It's the same approach I had with track. It's the same approach I have with lifting. It's the same approach I have with everything. Is when I'm like I've got my heart's racing, my head's pounding. I'm hearing all this music. I'm hearing people yelling, and all I can do in that moment is just breathe and tune everything out. And then it's just me and the weight. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Once you're there, it's a weight you've either done before, you've never done before, or you're just literally under there and you're like, I'm either going to look like a little bitch and not get this and possibly get hurt, or I'm going to get this and it's going to be awesome. And all you do, that's all I do. I just breathe, clear my head, and just get under it, and I'm done. That's it. Like you can't have any thoughts going through your head, because if you're thinking about it the entire time you're trying to do it, you're going to fuck it up.
Right. Almost you're putting some resistance in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, you can ask a lot of, I mean, it really just comes down to what you're doing, but I feel like a lot of people would agree when it comes to something like that, you can't think. You need to turn your brain off, and you just need to be automatic. You already know what you have to do.
Autopilot.
Pretty much.
Very Zen.
Yeah.
Right.
In a way.
In a way. Right. It's something that I've always,
I mean, I don't know if it's that Zen when you're like, when you've probably had 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine and are ripping smelling salts behind the stage. But,
why do you do all that stuff?
Well, caffeine is a legal performance enhancer. Everyone will tell you that.
Yeah.
So, it helps perform. There's obviously tons of studies out there that show that it does boost performance.
Okay.
But the smelling salts thing is more of just a thing that some people say it's bullshit. I disagree. I've seen it wake up people who are blackout drunk.
Yeah.
You've seen those videos where like they'll break the little ant pulse under somebody's nose. They're passed out and then they immediately come back.
No.
I use that because it just helps me breathe in a lot more. And it just helps me dial in. So that way when I go out there, I'm not thinking. Like I can just shut my brain off and me and the weight. That's it.
I always found that in racing, where like if you're on a drag strip and you're doing a quarter mile, and
I mean, do you think that guy's thinking about? Guy's thinking about a million different things that could go wrong with the car?
What I'm saying is,
me, end of the track. Let's go.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've done it.
I know.
So when I've done it, that's what it is. You hit a certain speed, and you're not thinking. I mean, I guess you are, because you're trying to keep it on the track. It's very easy to blow out and go off, but there's something that is so adrenaline pumping that like it would take me the rest of the day if I did it in the morning to actually bring my adrenaline down. I'm so jacked. And I think the same thing with like ball players and stuff, like football players. I remember Marcellus Wiley telling me he used to go up to Canada to the casinos after a 1 o'clock game because you were so hyped up. And I don't know if that's a thing. What do you have a hype song or anything? What, a song that hypes you up before you go out there, or you don't listen to music?
No, I do. I listen to a bunch of different songs. It's anything from like early 2000s rock to like metal to rap.
Metal?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Like who?
A lot of Linkin Park.
Oh, okay. Are they metal?
Kind of.
Yeah, I guess they're a little heavier. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten, or right before or after training? You ever have anything weird?
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I guess like I add dextrose to my protein shakes that I have after training, because I need to have like a carb to help with carrying over the protein from the shake. So a simple sugar to make it easier for it to pass through.
Yeah.
So it's literally just like a scoop of corn sugar in my shake.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like dietary wise, because I actually looked up because there was some downtime yesterday during that meet, and I looked up the anti-inflammatory diet. I was reading that stuff. And I mean, how important is diet for you overall?
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even outside of this, just to stay healthy, like with all my food allergies and stuff on top of everything else, diet is extremely important.
You had a lot of food allergies. Jordan was like, when he was born, he was losing weight, projectile vomiting, back in the hospital. We had to get hypoallergenic formula from Britain.
I was basically I was pretty much bubble boy. Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, I would say it's a little dramatic, but yeah, I guess you could say that. If you could do only one lift, what is your favorite?
Deadlift.
The deadlift is your favorite. Why?
It's the one I'm the best at. It's the one I've been doing the longest.
Yeah.
It's my strongest lift. I think it's the coolest out of the three too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What hurts more, leg day or heartbreak? Nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know?
Haven't really had much heartbreak.
Okay. All right.
So I would have to say leg day for now, but
do you ever want to arm wrestle? If you could arm wrestle like a celebrity, would you want to take on The Rock or somebody? See who you could beat?
Oh, Jesus. That could be fun. I would probably not win, but I'd do it.
You would?
Yeah, 100%.
So growing up, I was on the radio for all your life, pretty much. And people would recognize it. How did it feel when people would say things? And did you ever feel differently of me because of that? I don't know.
No, not really.
People would recognize.
I mean, it was always weird because I'd be like, who are you?
Yeah.
And then I'd realize very quickly, oh, you don't actually know us. You just know what my dad talks about.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was more of just you got to be careful about how you carry yourself type deal, because anyone could call in and say anything and be like, hey, Bill, your kid's an asshole. Yeah. Like, and just say some story about me being a dick, and I would have no idea who this person is. So, that was something I had to really keep in the back of my head.
Yeah. I that's true. I think there was even talked about a little bit.
It was right. It was drilled into my head by you, and especially by Mom. Like, I mean, Mom and we'd be at Wegmans grocery shopping when I was like 7, 8 years old. And we would get stopped 7 times before we even made it out of the parking lot because people would recognize her because of you. And, that's just like, I got used to it. It was kind of a normal thing.
Yeah.
But it was also like, I knew it was weird.
Yeah.
I also just didn't care. I was just like, okay, this is a part of.
It's
just a part of the life, I guess.
Yeah. What's one memory of us from childhood that still shapes how you see maybe me or the family? Is there anything any kind of?
I mean, when we say childhood, how far back are we going?
Well, I don't know. You tell me whatever sticks in your head. I don't have any.
I mean, seeing you at my track meets in high school.
Yeah,
that stuck with me.
Yeah,
and it's still kind of. Hearing you talk about, I mean, just the talk about staying consistent with sports, like constantly checking up and seeing like what I was thinking about and how practice would go and some of the conversations we'd have on rides home after practice, that really shaped me.
You think so?
I do.
I always thought sometimes I was like going, if that were me, I would. You turn into Charlie Brown's dad. Is like,
well, I mean, at that age, I didn't really have the same appreciation for it that I do now.
Oh, sure, of course.
Thinking back on it, like a lot of that stuff I still try and carry with me. So, and I'd say even some of the stuff you did with me in sports when I was a little kid, like just telling me that you got, like, it was the same message no matter how old I was. If you want to be the best at something, you got to keep doing it and be willing to work harder than anybody else, because there's going to be somebody out there who's going to show up when you don't.
It was so funny. I thought of that yesterday. I'm watching this and I go, boy, somewhere and I didn't mean it for you. I just meant for anybody, maybe even in that room. There's somebody stronger or better or working harder at this. And when we say work harder, like it's grind, it's just someone who's more consistent, maybe has a better training program, maybe is more disciplined, maybe doesn't go out to the bar and wear their medal the night after me. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't mean that.
I know
I'm picking on you a little bit as a joke, but those were the things that I think are the edges. And I think if you're going to be great at something, it's going to be boring.
I think
you're going to have a kind of a boring life. You got to get to bed at a certain time. You got to do, I mean, even guys in radio, you know, like I always laugh because now, you know, you saw this stuff with Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern, people are saying they don't want to taking him back. His empire's crawling, blah, blah, blah. It's not the way it was. But when Howard was in radio, everybody saw him as this rock and roll rebel. He was one of the most disciplined people. He was in bed by 8:00 at night, every night, and got up and got his 8 hours of sleep and did his whole thing. So to me, it was like, that was the edge, right? Discipline. And that takes a great discipline. I never did that. I couldn't get to bed by 8:00.
I mean, I do agree that you need to be disciplined in a lot of areas, but I also feel like at the same time, you got to be able to have balance. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And to your point, like there was a guy at that meet yesterday who we work out at the same gym. We both go to Legends 24/7 in Webster. And that dude is like, I look at him and I'm like, holy shit. What are you doing that I'm not?
Yeah.
And he and I had conversations. He was the guy who won. He was out. If he and I were in the same age group, I would not have won yesterday.
Yeah.
Because he's just bigger. He's stronger. I don't know what he's doing, but.
Well, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd ever be in your weight class, would he?
I thought he was in.
Oh, 90. I don't know.
I thought he was in 90, not 100. But no, the only reason he wasn't we weren't in the same bracket was because he's in the 24 plus and I'm at the tail end of 20 to 23.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, you know, like, I think about people, like, I think you can still go out and do a lot of crazy shit, but you still got to be willing, like, if you're going to go out and do all that crazy shit, you got to be willing to come back the next day and still show up. Like, if you go out for like 2-3 days in a row and you're just like drinking, partying, doing whatever, that's all cool. But the next morning, you got to go and get a workout in.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah.
Or you can take those days to rest, but then let's say you go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
right,
and you use Sunday as like your last minute recovery day.
Yeah.
Come Monday, you got to be back in the gym working out.
Yeah.
Me, I'm kind of crazy. I would go and like on the days in between, like say I go out Friday night and then I'm planning on going out again Saturday, I would go work out
in between.
Yeah. Right away.
Yeah.
It was the same thing in college. It's the same thing now. Like, I don't care how hungover I am, how depleted I am. It honestly makes me feel a lot better, both with the accomplishment mentality of like, I still did this, but also just the physical feeling of like actually being able to sweat out all the shit from the night before.
Yeah, sure. Make it a big feel. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
If you could go back, and I know there were like family dynamic changes and things when you were younger. If you could go back and give advice to your 15-year-old self, what's one piece of advice you would say? Talking about family changes or life in general, what would you say?
Buy Bitcoin.
Really?
That'd be one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know, make some money.
Yeah. I would think like Apple stock or something might be a little better, but I don't know.
I would say if I were to go back and tell my 15-year-old self anything, it would be, I would say start getting more serious about working out at a younger age. Like, I was doing it at that age, sure, but I wasn't as disciplined as I was when I got older. I would say start being more consistent and work toward it now, because then who knows what'll change.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's starting now. I don't want to, like, you never want to miss out on things. You hear about people who have trained their whole lives, you know, like Tiger Woods being Tiger Woods, right? It was golf 24/7 for that guy. And then we find out this story of Tiger, you know, having this almost sexual addiction where he's just, you know, and I don't know if that's part of the boring life for so long. I remember reading an article in Rolling Stone magazine about U2 concert, and the reporter writes, Tiger Woods got backstage and asked to see the set list so he could know what songs were being played, because he wasn't familiar with them, and he's a celebrity, and so they bring him back. And I'm not sure if Tiger Woods wanted to go or someone like Tiger was with wanted to go. Either way, my point is, like, it was so much golf, there was room for nothing else to be that great, right? And then on that, there is this side of, I just want to let loose. I just want to fucking let loose.
Well, I mean, it's like, look at all the sheltered, like the hyper sheltered kids who go off to college. Like, those are the kids who they were like super disciplined, 4.0, perfect scholar in high school. Soon as they're out under their parents' thumb at Arizona State, they're
Arizona State.
Just an example.
Gronk.
They're like,
was he Arizona State?
No, he was Arizona.
Yeah,
he was Arizona. No, it's all right. But they're like, those are the kids who, like, they're super disciplined because they had that structure. Once that structure is gone, they can't carry the discipline with them because all they want to do is let loose because they never got to do it. Those are the kids who go from the 4.0 to the 1.5s and 2.0s, partying every single day of the week, using any bar special day as an excuse, Margarita Monday to send it Sunday, whatever you want to call it. Like, those are the.
I don't know. Then, send it Sunday. I'm not even familiar. I heard Sunday.
I just made that one up.
Sunday.
But then you look at guys like, who had that balance of, like, oh, this is why they were able to do all this stuff their entire lives and still be really good. I mean, look at like John Daly and Baker Mayfield. Like, those were, and Matt Stafford. Those were people who were like still grinding, still at the top of their game, still doing amazing, but doing almost like the opposite of what everyone would hear about: the parties, the drinking, the crazy antics. But it's because they weren't so rigid with themselves to where they would lose control and burn out.
Right.
They're able to keep everything tight, keep themselves disciplined, and still go out and have fun. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that I like to do. Is like, I don't want to be the type of person who can't have a life outside of what I'm doing. I mean, this is more like, this is just for fun. I'm not doing this to.
It's a hobby at this point. Is there anywhere you could go? Could you become an Olympic power lifter?
It would take some time, but probably. I mean, it's a slightly different discipline. There's different lifts to learn. There's different technique. You're competing against a lot of other people. So there is a path there, 100%. There's more competitive powerlifting, like state level, national level, that I can continue to do as well. But really, for me, this is just kind of a fun thing. I mean, yeah, it's cool to win a medal and all that, but like, it's not something I'm going to do.
I was getting nervous because you were confident. You had done the math and you go, I won. And I'm like, well, don't jump the gun here. And then they come in second and they name the guy. And you start moving through the crowd. And I don't know if you heard me. I go, why don't you just stay here? Because I was like, what? Like, you're ever walking, you're walking up and they go, and number one is Bobby Smith. And you're like, oh, right. So that's all I pictured in my head happening, but it didn't happen. It was you, and that's it. We'll end it on this one, and I really appreciate you getting up and coming in here. But now that you're an adult, you're 23 years old, what's something about me as a dad that you maybe understand better, possibly even appreciate more, I don't know, than you did back then? And maybe you already touched on it a little bit. I'm not sure. God, this long? You got to wait this long to come up with something?
Yeah.
Was that bad?
No, it wasn't that bad. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that question.
Well, I think you said, like, the things that we would talk about and how, so I feel like it's a little redundant.
I think it would just go back to the same thing of the consistency that you told me about when I was a kid. And I definitely appreciate it now because I try and carry that with me in other aspects of my life. I try and just be as consistent as I can with work, with friends, with relationships, with everything, like just putting my best foot forward and showing up even on the days I don't want to.
I think it's a great lesson for everybody. And I think if you can do it though, with the attitude of, hey, I get to lift today. I get to go to the gym today instead of I have to go to the gym. I have to. There's something
I don't
different.
Even do the have to, get to, because I understand that mentality. I take it more of a I need to.
Yeah.
Because for me, yeah, it's something fun, and yeah, it's something I enjoy, and it's something I get to do that a lot of people don't. I can take that appreciation from it, but for me, I need to do it. It makes my day better. If I don't do it, unless I have a really good excuse for why I'm not doing it, I feel like I'm wasting time or missing out on potentially doing better than I would be. It's a need for me. I need to be in the gym working out at least 5 days a week. Like, I need to be there. And if I'm not, I feel worse. I feel like I'm falling behind with myself and where I want to be. And I know that doesn't sound good and it doesn't sound healthy, but I mean it in the best possible way, because imagine you just decide one day, oh, I don't feel like going to work today. I'm not going to go. Well, now you're losing money. Now you're falling behind. You could be, if you like your job and want to keep doing it, then you could be falling behind and wanting to get a promotion. Like if you have a goal and you want to be the best version of yourself, then you need to treat the things that you don't like doing, those, oh, I have to, not as I get to. I mean, again, that's a great mentality, but for me, it's a more of a, no, I need to, because if I want something great, if I want to do something great, if I want to be something great, if there's something I want at the end of all of it, then I need to do the shit I don't want to do. Even if I just absolutely can't do it. If I feel like, unless I am actively sick or injured, I need to do it. And that's the same thing with school, the same thing with work. I need to go, I need to do it, because if I don't, I'm not going to get what I want.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I always think, like, sometimes if you can go with a lighter attitude, and by attitude, I mean, and I don't mean to take it more casually. What I'm saying is not going with the such resistance of, I have to do this. I don't want to do this. I dread this. I dread waking up on a Monday morning, that boss again, blah, blah, blah. And if you can just go, hey man, I get to go make money today. I get to see some people I like. I get to, maybe needle my boss. I can make a joke or something. I just think that, like, that softens it, because you're right. You need to.
Yeah.
You need to.
Like, I 100% get that. I think that's a really good mentality, because if you just keep associating it negatively with the I have to, I don't want to, I dread it, you're going to hate everything you're doing, and you're going to make yourself more depressed. If you start having that appreciation for things, it will make you feel better. But I think I like that, but I love the need to, because it holds yourself to a higher standard.
Look at
and
this.
There's the thing, that something, holy shit, you want to talk about something you drilled in my head, holding yourself to a higher standard. I probably heard that every single day definitely for 3 years straight in high school.
Yeah.
And probably a lot before then too, of you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, because you are better than whatever you think you are. You are better than what people may make you out to be. Other people can have whatever they want about you, but if you hold yourself to a higher standard, everyone will see you at that higher standard. They won't see the work that goes into it, but they'll see the result.
Yeah, that's interesting. I need to revisit that myself. I need to hold myself to a higher standard. Yeah, that's a good one to end it on. I do appreciate you coming in. I know you got a master's program that you're doing, and you got a lot of work to do for that.
I do. Thanks for having me.
I loved it, and I was so happy to be there yesterday. I wanted to surprise you by showing up. I couldn't find the place.
I know. They got to get better advertising.
Well, it's
behind an auto parts store.
It's behind an auto parts store, but it's on the side of a building, and it's called East Ave Barbell.
And it's not even on East Ave.
It's on East Henrietta Road. I'm all confused. But either way, congratulations, and I think some great life lessons in there from young Jordan Moran. I'm his dad, Bill Moran, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We're looking for a Cadillac with Tennessee plates.